What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets. We are back at it again with my main man, Teaser Nation, fresh off of another choke of a Sunday leads to another outright W for myself. Kind of a week, pretty wild, pretty wild. If you guys have not tuned in before, we cashed in on Shane Lowry's choke job a couple weeks ago at the Cognizant with Nico outright, and then last week we had Cam Young somehow, some way found a way because Ludwig could not help but find the water twice. What up, Teaser? How we doing, buddy?
Good. Yeah, can you hear me right?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Good. Yeah, congrats on another one. I know. I guess I didn't even king of promotion or promo thing helped paid off, so that's good. Yeah, obviously Aberg looked like he was gonna run away with it. I had another guy in the mix get a solo third, so that's about 4 top threes for me this year on the outright market. Xander was looking good, tee to green all week, and then Saturday came and pretty much shot himself out of it. Kind of came back a little bit on Sunday, but just wasn't really enough. So been frustrating there, but I mean, I'm happy for Cam, man. That's been our guy for years now. I guess it's unfortunate that I couldn't get on him, but yeah, I mean, he just stuck with it. He was playing well, and he kind of just capitalized on Aberg's mistakes, which it was just funny though, because it wasn't even the holes that you would expect people to make mistakes on, because it was a par 5 and an easy drivable par 4. So it was kind of crazy. So yeah, thought Fitzpatrick kind of had it there too as well, but he couldn't finish it all.
What's wild is I played him on that King of the Course promo, and I even put in the Discord, hey, I like him for the promo. I doubt he wins, but you got to take him as an outright. And I'm just like sitting there watching the weekend. I had Hovland outright. He creeped up the board on Saturday, and I was like, man, if Ludwig goes down, Hovland goes up. Hovland eagles the second hole of the day, and I'm like, oh boy, now we're live. And then he goes bogey, and I'm like, okay. So I basically didn't watch too much of it because I was like, okay, Cam Young's out of it. But then it just the back nine got pretty wild. So
it's ridiculous, yeah.
Second outright of the year, and plenty more to come. We got the Valspar Championship this week. And probably a more loaded field than what the Valspar is used to. So pretty good tournament here. Coming off of the Players and the Arnold. So usually a lot of people take this weekend off, but this one is I would say a fairly crowded field here. So I know with March Madness, that is probably the second or third choice for a lot of people to watch this weekend. However, we're big, humongous golf degenerates, so we are going to be gambling on this. And for all of you here, I appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week, obviously, as we dive into the tournaments. If you do want to get involved with March Madness, Sharp Bros is running a bracket challenge. I will go ahead and tweet that link out tonight. If you are in the Discord, make sure you just check out the announcements tab, and you'll get right in. I believe only gold members currently can win the top prize, which is $250. So make sure you guys are in the Discord. As gold members, we kind of switched it up a little bit to one VIP and as all. But so without further, we got Andrew here. What's up, buddy? He says, I'll still be watching golf. Yes, that's the degenerate that we love right there. You're going to have multiple screens on. You might have 4 different college basketball games, but you got to have one screen for golf. Even if you're at your buddy's house and he doesn't like golf, you have to ask for it.
Yeah,
it's a bro code right there. All right, Teaser, take it away. Let's get into the Valspar Championship. What we need to look for this week, and who should we be targeting?
Yeah, so it's a pretty difficult course, Innisbrook. You said, like you said, last stop for the Florida swing. Obviously, a lot of guys will take the next 2 off in Texas before the Masters. So, pretty good field. I think 9 of the top 25 are here this week. So, Xander, JT, Victor, Fitzpatrick, Cantley, Spieth, Clark, Thigala, and I think Bridgman as well. Yeah, Bridgman, even Brooks and Spieth as well. So it's par 71, 7,300 yards or 300 yards. Pretty tight fairways, a lot of dog legs, 54% of tee shots use driver. So almost obviously 50%. Players longer or plays longer than the yardage suggests. One of the fairest but toughest tests that we have. So it's kind of hard to make birdies out here. Usually the average score is like 10 to 11 under. So it's a pretty difficult test. I think a lot of guys like playing here just to kind of shape up for Augusta coming up in a month. So yeah.
It's getting close. Getting close.
Yep. So yeah, like I said, one of the lowest birdie rates on tour, second fewest eagles. Obviously, everyone knows about like the snake pit, 3 tough holes there. 5 par 3s, all of them play about over 200 yards. So factor that in the model this week. That's a pretty big thing this week. Obviously, some guys are a lot better than others at 200 plus par 3s. So yeah, hole 16 through 18, the snake pit, one of the toughest finishing on tour, just like we saw at Cognizant. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What we're going to kind of be looking at, strokes gain approach like we do every week. Bogey avoidance, good drive percentage. Not necessarily, you don't need to be long, but you do need to be accurate, as well as obviously long does help. POA/bent greens putting, and then proximity from like 175 plus will be a big one this week, just for par 3s and going into the long par 4s here. So
yeah, just like last week, it's fairly more an accuracy course. You're going to make sure you're in the fairways and you're hitting greens, fairways, greens all day long. It does not matter about distance too much this week, unless you're Cam Young on 18 and just says, "Hey, let's get 375 yards," which is wild.
That was insane.
Absolutely insane. What just an incredible here. Just watch this.
Biggest shot of his life. He just hit it out there.
Especially after Saturday when the whole Discord is on Cam Young to go under 70.5, and he's shooting 70 right now, and then he goes right into the damn water. And so I'm like going to this tee shot on 18. I'm like, oh man, he's got to be thinking straight water, you know.
I know. I'm surprised. I'm really
375. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, so we will get into some outrights here. We will also get into some placements, some DFS talk, who to fade, because that is the funniest thing in DFS golf or betting golf is when everyone's on somebody, they miss the cut, and then the next week nobody's on them, and they're in the final group or almost win, aka
or
Matt Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, or they withdraw like stupid Morikawa, man.
But so we try to dive into those. We've been doing this for years. You know, we kind of can see when those, come along, and those opportunities hit. So Andrew says YouTube TV, multi-TV or multi-view for the W. Yeah. YouTube TV. If you don't have it, you're kind of losing out. It's well worth the every $8 or $9 it goes up every damn year.
For sure.
In my eyes. Yeah. All right, so let's get to some outrights here. The top of the leaderboard is a little bit different. There's no Scotty Scheffler to deal with. There's no Rory McIlroy. You got Xander leading the pack at basically 11 to 1, 10 to 1, depending on what book you're at. Fitzy at 15 to 1, and Batia 19 to 1, and Hovland 19 to 1. Just an absolute gross top of the leaderboard there. I was on Victor last week. I will not be on him again this week. I do like him if you're still playing DFS. I'm okay with him there.
Defending champ,
yeah, defending champ, but just he just couldn't put it all together. His driving last week was horrific. He was all over the place, and if he just hit half the damn fairways, I think he's even higher up there on Sunday. Maybe he corrects that, but he's been fighting that all season long. I just don't think he's in a good form going into this particular, obviously elite approach game, and his around the greens gotten a lot better. But it's just that off the tee here, I just don't think you can miss as many fairways as he did last week. So Victor's all for me. You got anybody in the top 4 there that you're wanting to bet, or you're just like, hey, absolutely do not touch this guy this week?
Yeah, I mean, like you said with Hovland, it's kind of crazy he won here last year because it's like, how did he win? It's like
Yeah.
can't hit fairways, and I mean, he's just always. It's tough to bet him because he'll be like he's either going to be good or bad. Like it's streaky, so you never really know with him. He could turn it on this week, but yeah, I mean, I don't. Obviously, he's that Xander numbers insane at 10-1. Probably going to stay away from him at that. Fitzpatrick at 15. I think this is another week you can kind of fade him. I think coming off the players, everyone might hop back on him, and then he's going to put up another dud at that number. Batia, probably pass on that as well. Obviously, Hovland would be the one with those four that I would be intrigued with. Cantley, I don't even know. He's like playing tonight in TGL, so like probably long trip and stuff like that. JT probably is the one we talked about it before. I think he's the most intriguing at the top. Him and Bridgman at 22-1. If whatever kind of just more of what you prefer, I guess, with those. I'm not gonna say one's better than the other this week. I think it's just your preference on the number with any of them. JT, it's weird too because he's horrible off the tee, but obviously he plays well here for some reason. He's pretty much in contention last week. He just had that triple bogey on hole 6, which took him out of it on Saturday. But other than that, he kind of grinded the weekend. He looked pretty good, doing like back to his old form of makes a lot of birdies, saves a lot of pars, and makes stupid errors in the process of shooting a even par round on the weekend. But yeah, last year he got that runner up. Honestly, should have won, but Hovland kind of stole it. Yeah, has a 10th, third here. Like it's good to see last week. Like the off the tee still a little alarming with still negative. Obviously, that probably is from a few holes, but the approach is back. The putting looks like it was back a little bit, and the ball striking, which is huge. So, and another thing with JT is the reason why I probably would prefer him over Bridgman is the par threes. He's great over 200 plus. That's 5 holes out of 18. So if you can like just get a couple birdies on those and stuff like that, that's pretty good. So.
Yeah, and that Hovland did well with that too last year. So that you can always gain on the field on par threes. That is such a key. You know, everyone says the par fives. I always look at the par threes. Like par threes are even more important on a golf course because you can get a bigger number. You get a 5 there instead of that 3. You know, obviously 2 strokes, but I think the par threes are crucial there. So I do like Thomas is by far the best value win equity wise for sure, in my opinion, in this tournament. So only concern I have is this is week number 3 coming back from his injury off of a huge week. I would say like a stressful golf wise. He was very, if you watched his rounds, which the TV, I don't know if he's got sponsors galore, but he's always getting the Scotty treatment. Like everybody sees Justin Thomas's shots. But he was very competitive with it, and I just think I don't know if that took enough out of him this week. That's my only concern is that this is kind of a letdown where he was very competitive last week, just trying to get up the leaderboard, and I think he only felt like JT again. I'm just hoping that I don't see basically a letdown here from JT, but 22-1. You're right there with Bridgman. Everyone's kind of going to Bridgman over JT this week, and I think you get a little bit more win equity with JT. So he'd be my favorite at the top here. Would be JT, and then it's just absolutely insane. We talked about Brooks before the show, 25-1. The way that guy's putting, you cannot bet him. You just can't bet him. Yeah. He's just thinking too much. And he was better on Sunday. I'll say that. Better on Sunday, but obviously he didn't have much to play with or play for. So he tried to get that sneak all the way up to like top 10, but I think he was like mid teens there. And then Spieth at 27-1. He's been 60s and and 50s basically all year. And now with a slightly weaker field, you're going to say he's 27-1. Just don't see it there with Spieth. Anybody else in that 20-ish range there that you want to take?
I don't think so. I think I think I would pass on that. Like I said, either it's between Bridgman or JT for a favorite for me this week. Like I think Bridgman, it's tough with him because it's like he was number 1 in putting last week at Sawgrass, so there are some similarities with the greens here, but like his ball striking on Sunday fell on Saturday. It's like with him, that's always what it is. So if he can putter can carry him, like I like him. But yeah, those are really the only two under 30 I prefer to take at anything, to be honest.
Yeah, Andrew goes, need to focus on stats for shots gained for approach, tee to green, and off the tee as well. Yep. It's like we said, it's just straight fairways, greens, stay there, and you're good. He's got Hovland, Fitz, Xander, Rio, Thigala. I'm thinking a possible outright winner. Do like those.
You and everyone else on Rio, man.
I've liked Rio. It's just I haven't got around him. I just don't know if he can actually win a tournament. He's been playing great. He's one of those feel good stories. He's playing good throughout the year. And same with Batia. Batia has been up there, and he has a win, but he's also won on the tour before. With some, he's got to go to the playoff hole though to do so. Yeah. But it's just Rio, fantastic golfer, and you're going to get a 39-1 number, which to me is just too low. So it's just tough for me to click on his name. I'll probably play him in some 2 balls, 3 balls, whatever they go off on this week. So that could be a different angle there. But if Thigala 36-1 is still a little low to me, but I love the way he's playing. I think he's playing pretty solid. So I could definitely see him up on that front. I'd rather probably play a top 10 on maybe some of those guys, plus 310, plus 320. Rather than just a full-on outright on some of those guys. What are your thoughts on Rio and Thigala? And I know we've kind of hinted on Hovland and Fitz and Xander a little bit.
Yeah, we've seen Rio this year already contention 2 or 3 times, and the weekend he just falls. So if you want to take a first-round leader on him, that would be a great bet. I like that more than an outright. I'm just not there yet with him, especially at that number. And Thigala, the one thing that holds me back with him is, I don't know. That's just off the tee, man. It's just you don't know what kind of he can scramble for his life, which is he's one of the best short games on tour.
Right.
He's proven that. So I don't know. It's just here at this course, I just can't see him winning just with the off the tee issues usually. So probably stay away from that. But I mean, the 40 ranges gets where. Yeah, so if we kind of look at him, he was hot last week on Thursday and Friday, and then I think kind of fell off, but. Yeah,
he's had a pretty good stretch besides one tournament off the tee, but approach has been solid for the most part. Just nothing that wows you.
It's just
pretty good track record here.
Yeah,
I think he makes sense this week for sure.
It's see ball striking around the greens. It's where he gets off the tees, never over 1 stroke. So it's always everything else that has to be on for him.
And he's top 10 in ownership this week on DFS too. So he's going to be. I think he's an easy one to click on for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, personally, I think, honestly, Smotherman, I know he was 70 or 80 on Sunday, but even 50-1 on Smotherman. If we look at the model here, he doesn't have 25th and 36, but right now he's a completely different player. He's going crazy. In the model, he's 5th. Strokes gain tee to green the last 3 months. He's number 1 in the field. Strokes gain off the tee, which is less than driver. Modeled in number 1 strokes gain approach on tough greens the last 12 months. He's number 5. So you can just go down the list. He's playing pretty good golf. Obviously the one thing with him is the putter. That's 100th in the field. So I mean, with him, if he can just ball strike like he usually has been doing this year, we've seen him up there in some tournaments. Obviously another guy, you don't know if he's going to win, but I think 51 is a decent number to take him.
Yeah, and he's been one that's been hanging around a lot of those tournaments. I took him, I think round 3 and 4, 2 ball, and I won both of them. I really liked the way he was playing last week. Coming at $7,400, 14% on DK. You're probably right outside the top 10 there in ownership, but I think it's a good mix to throw in there with at 7,400 there on DFS. Andrew, doesn't Thigala have the longest drive off the tee? Do you know that if he's
I don't think
longest in the field?
Definitely not the longest on tour, but he might be above average, I would say.
Yeah. But like we've said, doesn't worry too much about distance here off the tee. You're worried about placement, and getting into the fairway for sure. All right, we go down the leaderboard a little bit further. We talked about Thigala. Nikolai Hogard is always up there. He's been playing pretty solid golf. And then we get into the 40s and 50s. We talked about Smotherman. I might have to. What's crazy is last week I sat here and I was like, Davis Thompson is my shot, 100-1, and I said Thompson and Thorby are the exact same people, and I should be on. And then Thorby is in the final group, and I was just like kicking myself. I was like, all I had to do was just play my guy. My guy Thorby.
And then he just died on Sunday.
Because I was watching Saturday, and I was just like, man, if Thorby wins, and I didn't play him, but I knew Thompson and him were like a good match for this, and I went Thompson over him, I would just never, ever get over that. And then, thankfully, obviously I don't want for anybody to play bad, but, he did play horrific on Sunday.
Yeah.
And but no, so that's a long way of me saying I might go back to Davis Thompson at 50-1. But I didn't like the way he played off the tee last week. So I think it could get him in trouble again this week. So Thompson, I'm gonna wait and see how I feel about Thompson. I don't have a good gut feeling like I did last week with him or Thorby, and I went Thompson over him. But you never know. But probably my favorite, we're talking about the tees to green. You want to make sure your approach game's good in the fairway. Aaron Rye checks a lot of those boxes for me.
Yeah.
And you're at 56-1 on Aaron Rye.
Yep.
Guy who can stripe it with the best of them. I just don't know what he's second in the field, tee to green, 20th in approach, 9th on long par fours. Par threes, not the greatest, but nonetheless, I still think he could. Be have some noise.
He's usually a good long iron player, but not
in the great form. Not in great form.
He's not.
Come off 28, 23, but he was not good last week at the Players, and he only played here last year once and got cut. But but just 56-1, I feel like on a Aaron Rye number basis wise, value wise, guy who's coming in sub 10% on DK, you're at 7,900. Not a lot of people want to click on him, but if you're talking about an accuracy course, somebody that you definitely can click on is Aaron Rye here.
I like that.
Anybody else in the 50s range? We can go 60s if you're looking at there too.
50, 60. I think this guy's always a little above 60 range, but I'm going to look at 74-1 Bud Colley at almost 75. So I don't know with him. I just have a kind of a gut feeling more on him this week. Obviously he plays. If you think of a course that would fit him, it's going to be this one. He's in decent form, strokes gained approach, tough greens. He's 9th. Strokes gained total on comp courses. He's top 10. So I'm surprised he didn't play. We kind of saw him on the leaderboard early on last week, which finished tied 32nd, which isn't bad. 18th in Arnold Palmer. So kind of trending in the right direction. But obviously, I think this is a course that kind of fits him. Pretty good on approach type player. Keeps in the fairway usually. Fourth here last year.
Shit.
So
there you go.
Yeah, obviously he was kind of shitty before that, but he's kind of a different player. He kind of got to revive in his career. So I think he's a good guy this week to kind of look at. I don't know if he's going to pull it off, but I think he could be in the mix come Sunday.
Yeah, and that was a guy. He was a sleeper. I didn't mention him on the stream last week, but he ended up popping for me later on before the tournament. Because obviously we're talking Tuesday, so you got a little bit more data on Wednesday with the weather and all that stuff. But so that was a guy that stood out to me last week. So I'm okay with going back to him at 74-1.
Yeah.
There. I'm just trying to see Homa 68-1.
He's too inconsistent for me right now.
Oleason ranks fairly well in the model. I just don't know if I really, really want to go down that route. I would love to click on Sungjae at 94-1 when we're talking about accuracy, courses. Mr. Accurate himself. Can we get some love for Sungjae again?
He needs to come back strong, man. He's been struggling after coming back from that wrist injuries.
I mean, I used to just go. I wouldn't be able to go a stream without mentioning Sungjae M.
Yeah, I hope he comes back, man. I'm rooting for him, but like,
no, you can't take him. I'm totally joking here, guys.
Yeah,
but honestly, he's got a top 5 here. So
yeah, if you think he could,
if you have pizza money, throw pizza money on him.
Yeah,
and if you want to just piss away some money on DFS, he's coming in sub 5%, 7,100, 94 to 1. That'd be a wild long shot there for me.
Yeah.
Other one, long shot wise, Denny McCarthy makes a lot of sense at 100 to 1. And then last week, if you watched a little bit, you had Lee Hodges in the mix.
Yeah.
He's someone that you could just ride again, 115 to 1 there. But and then you get Tony again, Tony Finau 105 for 1. Just I'd probably prefer Hodges and Horschel in that range. Any long shots you got there?
Sneaky plays Lucas Glover too at 110 to 1.
Swamp ass.
Yeah, he has 0 form right now, but like obviously this is another course where he plays well. T8, T11 or 11 last 2 years, T13. So it's like course that fits him as well. Just it's tough to, obviously it's a long shot, so just kind of hoping he's in the mix. But him and honestly Matty Schmid, for some reason he's kind of sticking out to me.
He's such a bum. Tuck in your shirt.
He is.
Why are you not tucking your shirt in? I mean, and why are you wearing a medium on the course? Just size up to a large and tuck the damn thing in.
We might see that on Sunday here when he's in the mix. I'm telling you.
He makes enough money. Do a custom size shirt. Come on.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Tuck your shirt in.
17th and 28th here. I'm telling you. Saw him last year battle Ben Griffin at Colonial. T5 at Puerto Rico, T9 at Cognizant. This guy's kind of playing well right now. T46 last week. So like 130 to 1. Not a bad play.
I wouldn't bet him even if it helped me get out of poverty. I would say screw it. Tuck your shirt in first.
He'll win this week, and then you'll be on him. I'm telling you.
then I won't tuck my shirt in one more time.
Yeah.
Oh, Andrew, Jason Day's is Jason Day playing this week? I don't know if he is.
No, he's not in the field this week.
Not in the field this week.
Yeah.
So do not worry about Jason Day. If you're looking at a model, take him out of there.
Yep.
But yeah, I didn't think he played last week, didn't he? I don't know if he.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know if he did too well. But
I think he maybe was
two in the mix.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some matchups for the tournament here. Head-to-head matchups. And as always, we give out round by round, 2 balls, 3 balls, whatever they go off. I think they're going off on threesomes this week. In the Sharp Bros Discord, hit that link below. Shout out to Panda Cats. He's won 14 grand the last 3 nights on NBA, 3 parlays hit in a row. Absolutely insane. Shout out Panda. Just absolute hitter. He was literally on a 1-leg off streak for like, I don't know, 10 days, where it was just like one guy would get, if he needed 10 points, he would get 9. It was just and then now he broke through and did 3 in a row, and
that's crazy.
Discord went nuts. So make sure you guys are tuning in for the NBA. We'll have college basketball. We got NHL with Haldir. We got obviously NBA is also with Kentown, and then we got golf with us 2 hooligans as well. So plenty of value to be had in the Sharp Bros Discord. All right, you looked at any of those matchups?
Yeah, honestly, I think I got a pretty good one. Just so if let me scroll through all of them. I mean, Rio over Taylor Pendrith is a solid one. I don't know if I'm going to go there, but it sounds pretty good to me. Ben Griffin over Spieth. I mean, I'm liking these this week. Obviously, Bridgman versus JT. Of course, they would pair them. I mean, I think one that stands out to me is I love Nick Taylor over Keegan Bradley at minus 130. It's a little juicy, but like this
But
Keegan
Keegan
is
just has not been
lost.
playing well. Yeah,
He is lost right now. He's
Yeah.
still talking about the Ryder Cup, like how it's mentally crushed him. Like he's a wreck. So I think mentally
let it go. Let it go.
yeah, he's struggling mentally. So I think Nick Taylor's a good one there. And then even I know it's over your guy, but Smollerman over Davis Thompson's another decent one, but
yeah,
don't love it.
Probably my go-to there is Aaron Rye over Smalley. I like the way Smalley played a little bit last week. He's always a guy. Yeah, he always has those big holes. So Aaron Rye over Smalley, and then if I'm feeling, what was the other one? I don't know. But what do you think of Corey Connors this week? He's always been my longtime guy. And I'm like, man, I just don't know if I should go back to him at all.
Dude, I think he was there till Sunday and he like just disappeared off the leaderboard. But obviously everyone knew that was going to happen. But I mean,
I'm just looking at Spawn versus Connors and I'm like, man.
Oh man. You know what's funny about Spawn? I don't think I would ever take him at 30-1 the way he's been playing, but like
you can't do that.
Sneaky feeling, hot take. I think he's in the mix this week for some reason.
Yeah.
Sneaky, like a sneaky feeling.
That'd be another one. That's another one. But I mean, in prime Corey Connors fashion, he's just gonna go super low because it's just a course where you got to be accurate. Kind of like the Masters there. But man, we'll see. But I do like Spawn over Connors a little bit, even though that hurts me to say because Connors is one of my dudes. But Bridgman with Thomas. That's a BS matchup there.
That is.
So what was your go-to one? You had
I like Taylor over Keegan. I know it's a little juicy at minus 130, but like I think it's worth the juice.
And I'll do Rye over Smalley. Rye over Smalley minus 120.
That's not bad.
All right. We will get up on out of here. We appreciate you guys shooting the shit with us for about 30 minutes or so. And if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out on socials, Discord, whatever it is. I'll have my outrights out tomorrow night. And then always make sure you're in the Discord to make sure if I have any last-second outrights like I had last week with Cam Young, to make sure you guys are in there for that. And as always, we'll be back next week. I think it's the Valero next week.
Next week's Texas Houston Open, I think, and then Valero.
Or wasn't it the Valero? Is it the Valero Texas Open?
It's Houston Texas Open, and then Valero's the week after.
Oh, okay.
It's like
I know there's three and whatever.
The Texan Open one's pretty good. I think Scheffler will be in that one, but that one's a good course. And then Valero's just a snooze fest. But
the
week before Augusta.
But we'll have some winners for that always.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.